In this video, we're going to talk about Gohan, and let's start with the first incarnation of the character, Kid Gohan. Starting with his aura, it's just this base blue, which is gonna get a 2. And then we have this small guy rapid fire grab. This is the first time we're seeing this here, but it's definitely not going to be the last time we see it, although I don't hate it. I think I'm going to give it a 3. And then for his skills, we have the super unyielding spirit, which puts him into max power, which I love. And he has after image strike, which as we've established is very good, allowing you to automatically dodge most standard attacks for 15 seconds. This is very good. An easy 5 for this skill lineup. And then for his blasts, we have the Masenko, Gohan's signature move, and I like it a lot. And then we have the Gekiretsu Madan, which is a full power energy wave volley. Not bad having a beam and a volley, very standard blast lineup. And then for his ultimate, we have the Bakuretsu Ranma, a really excellent rush. And no, I won't be translating any of these names. I went 17 years not knowing what they meant, and I'm not gonna start now. But for this rush, Gohan comes in with a big kick to the noggin, then punches him up, sends him flying, follows up with a bunch of punches to the chest, and then flies up above them and just blasts them with a huge energy wave. This is a really cool rush, and I think this is a blast lineup that really suits Kid Gohan. So I'm gonna give it a 4. As for his overall aura, I really like Kid Gohan. Gohan is one of my favorite characters in the series just because you get to watch him grow. Every different iteration of the character feels like a specific period of his life, and we are getting to watch him grow and change and develop and get stronger and smarter over the course of his life. And at this point, he was just a little pacifist nerd who didn't want to fight, but still was gifted with this immense power being Goku's son. And I do feel he's represented well in this game. So I'm gonna give his aura a 5. And moving right along, we have Teen Gohan, one of my favorite forms of the character. But once again, starting with his aura, it's just that base aura, which is going to get a 2. And we actually have this same grab again, so that is going to get the same score as well. And then for his skills, we have the Wild Sense, which unlike After Image and After Image Strike, actually attacks the opponent after they attack you, making it a very good move. And then we have Full Power Charge. This is a 1-stock skill, and it fully recovers all of your non-max power ki. Although in Sparking Zero, they made this not real time, and I think that was a really good decision. In this game, it feels kind of useless. In the time that it takes to activate this skill, you could basically recharge all of your ki anyways, so wasting a skill stock on it never really made sense to me. I think I'm gonna give this skill lineup a 2. And then for his blasts, we have the Super Masenko. I actually kind of love that he has this in his base form, because he's just gotten so much more powerful from his previous iterations. So it's not just a Masenko anymore, even in his base form, it's a Super Masenko. And then we have the Gekiretsu Madan, which is that volley again. And then for his ultimate, we have the Super Kamehameha. This blast lineup is really not anything special. He has the Masenko, the Kamehameha, and a volley, which, to be fair, he didn't really do much, if any, fighting in this form, at least not in the actual anime itself. So I understand why this one is a little bit more basic, but it's not gonna stop this from only getting a 2. And then for his overall aura, like I said, I just really like Gohan, and I do think that this form is represented as well as it could be. Plus, he has the orange gi in this game, which is enough to get this form a 5. Next up, we have Gohan's first version of Super Saiyan. The little man is growing up. Starting with his aura, it's just this Super Saiyan aura, which is gonna get a 3. And he has that same grab again, so that is going to get a 3 as well. As for his skills, we have the Explosive Wave, which I guess is fine. And he has Full Power, which puts him into max power. In this instance, I really don't hate the Explosive Wave, especially because this exists to be an in-between kind of form. So allowing him to use it defensively, it's cheap, makes sense here. I'm gonna give this skill lineup a 4. And then for his blasts, we once again have the Super Masenko. Not very inspired. Same cutscene and everything. Not that I would expect him to have anything different. Again, he didn't really do a ton of fighting in this form, but still. And then we have the Chao Maratseki Maretsugeki. The Chow Maretsugeki, which is a unique rush, where he comes in, elbows them. I really like this middle section where he just kicks the shit out of them, and then he sends them flying and follows up with a nice punch down, spiking them into the earth. Not bad at all. And then for his ultimate, we have the Super Kamehameha again, which, yeah, I mean, it's just not that special. I will say I like this moveset more on account of him having a cool rush instead of just a volley, but with the exception of that rush, it's the same moveset. So I think I'm gonna bump it up 1, and I'm gonna give it a 3. As for his overall aura, I mean, it was still so exciting to see Gohan turn into a Super Saiyan for the first time, and the fact that he still has some unique moves in this form is cool and shows that even if they're working with a little, they have the ability to create some cool moves. I do think that this version of Gohan being basically a copy of his base form is a bit of a bummer and kind of hurts the form for me. So I'm gonna give his aura a 4. Alright, I hope you guys are ready for peak, because we are about to get it. It's Super Saiyan 2. I will say this transformation is a little bit more unique than the average, but I love that Sparking Zero actually recreated the first time Gohan went Super Saiyan 2. I wouldn't have expected that level of detail from this game way back then, but I really appreciate that we have it represented now, and this does feel a little weak by comparison. But I'm not grading the transformation, so let's move on. As for his aura, he has the Super Saiyan 2 aura, which is going to get a 4. And then we have a unique grab, finally! And I do like this one, though it's not anything super special. I appreciate its uniqueness, but it really is just him punching them and kicking them a couple of times. The impacts feel great, but I don't think it's gonna get anything higher than a 4. And then for his skills, we have the Explosive Wave, again. And we have Unforgivable, which gives him all of the buffs. I guess I'd say if Explosive Wave and a max power move is a 4, then that would pretty much make this one a 5, because this max power move is just objectively better than the previous one. My gut is still telling me to give this a 4, because I just don't feel right giving Explosive Wave a 5, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And then for his blasts, we finally see that Super Kamehameha make its way to the blast slot. And this is one of my favorite Super Kamehamehas. I love that stance. He's like waiting for his chicken nuggies to come out of the oven. But also it showcases that he is secretly storing up this energy, and then he just releases it all in this huge, powerful Kamehameha. Also, it's only 2 key bars, which is crazy. It's so spammable and makes Super Saiyan 2 Teen Gohan one of the best characters in the game. Among other things, of course. And then we have the Gekiretsu Madan again. What are we doing? Why do we have to give him a volley? Give him a good rush like his previous form. Or at the very least, move the rush from his previous form to this blast slot. I would have been much more okay giving the previous form a lower score and giving this one a higher one. However, for his ultimate, we have the iconic Father-Son Kamehameha, where he charges up that thing and fires. And when it connects with the opponent, we get this really excellent shot of them holding back the beam, and then we get this slow zoom in on Gohan as he's trying to overpower them. But then he pulls back, Goku is there, and they fire together, and that overpowers the opponent, swallowing them completely. This is such a great ultimate. It's iconic, it hits the notes, it's paced very well. The beam itself is just huge. I think that this ultimate attack alone is enough to get this blast lineup a 5. Volley be damned. And as for his overall aura, I think you guys already know what I'm gonna say, but it's Super Saiyan 2 Teen Gohan. This was the height of Dragon Ball Z for a very long time, especially as a Kai viewer. I mean, we didn't get any of the Boo stuff till years after this stuff aired. He's just Gohan, and nothing is gonna take that away from him. So of course, his aura is a 5. Now we're gonna move on to adult Gohan. And of course, we have him in the green fit. And he just has this blue aura, so that's gonna get a 2. And here we have this fast-paced grab. Vegeta had this for a handful of his variants, and I gave it a 3 then, so I'm gonna give it a 3 now. And then for his skills, we have the Wild Sense. And along with it, we have Full Power Charge. Again, this is a fairly inexpensive skill lineup, but I still just don't love it. Wild Sense is good, don't get me wrong, but the Full Power Charge just really feels unnecessary here, and maybe it's okay for his base form, but I really don't want to see it going forward. For now, I'm gonna give these skills a 2. And then for his blasts, we have the Explosive Madan, which I don't really know what this attack is supposed to be. The energy looks really cool, especially compared to Sparking Zero's. I much prefer this more chaotic look, but it's just like a short-range shotgun kind of blast. And then we have the full power energy blast volley, again, followed by a Super Kamehameha. Get used to these attacks because we're going to be seeing them a lot over the course of the next couple versions of Gohan. And I don't really have anything else to say about this. It's a bad blast lineup, one that I'm going to give a 1. As for his overall aura, man, I love this version of Gohan. At this point in the anime, it was like a slice of life. We got to focus on Gohan for a little bit, and of course, we got a lot of time in his base form, which is sad that we didn't really use any of it in this moveset. I still think the character looks really good, especially with his different outfits, but I am very disappointed in the way that this character was handled in this game, and that's true for the rest of adult Gohan's forms, unfortunately. I'm not gonna go too hard on him, but I am gonna give his aura a 3. Next up is Adult Super Saiyan Gohan, and we have the Super Saiyan Aura, which is maybe the only thing that's an improvement of this entire moveset. It's gonna get a 3. And he has the same grab, so that's going to get the same score. And then for his skills, we have the Explosive Wave and Full Power Charge again. This is worse by all accounts, with the exception of it being a very cheap skill lineup. Both Explosive Wave and Full Power Charge only cost 1 stock, which is very good. And again, Explosive Wave isn't terrible. I just don't like it. The Full Power Charge is whatever, I just think that this skill lineup is gonna get a 2. And for his blasts, we have, what's this? The Explosive Madan and the Full Power Energy Blast Volley? Literally the exact same thing he had in his previous form. What a disappointment. At least his ultimate is good, with the Bros Kamehameha, where he fires off, honestly, a really good looking Kamehameha, and then we get this nice shot of the opponent holding the beam back, and then Goten comes in, and through the power of brotherhood, they overpower the opponent. This is a really cool attack, and it is a reference to the second Broly movie. Although, it would be cool if Goku was there too, and it was the family Kamehameha, but I'll take what we can get. But it doesn't really matter how good this attack is, because the rest of this blast lineup is absolutely dog shit. Nothing about this screams Super Saiyan. I mean, maybe giving him the Explosive Wave does that, but like, come on. The Bros Kamehameha is bumping this up to a 2. And for his overall aura, I'm just having such a hard time with this, because it's still Gohan, one of my favorite characters. And if you guys feel like I'm being too harsh on him, imagine how I feel. I don't want to be going in on this character like this. They made him bad, and that reflects negatively on his aura. I don't feel like Budokai Tenkaichi 3 Super Saiyan Gohan has that much aura. Again, he does look good, but man, he is a trash character. I'm gonna give his aura a 2. Alright, let's talk about Super Saiyan 2 Adult Gohan. I promise I have some good things to say about this one. And starting with his aura, it's the Super Saiyan 2 aura, so we're gonna give it a 4. Same grab again though, dang. That's gonna get a 3. And we see the Explosive Wave return. Honestly, would have loved to see that Wild Sense make a comeback, but nope. And then he has full power, putting him into max power. This is a good skill lineup. I don't have much to say about it that I haven't already said, but I'm gonna give it a 4. And then, for his blasts, we have the Super Explosive Madan. The same attack, but it's a little bit bigger. And I swear to God, if he has a oh god damn it! That's 3. That's 3 forms of the same character with the same moveset, because his ultimate is a goddamn Super Kamehameha! I don't know who designed Adult Gohan, but they really phoned it in. In what world is it okay that you have 3 forms of the same character that all have the exact same moveset? It's like we're playing goddamn Xenoverse! And I can hear you typing in the comments right now, but the Super Explosive Madan is bigger, it's different, and the Super Kamehameha is an anime reference. I get it, but it does not make for a good or fun character to play as. Anyway, I'm going to be giving this blast lineup a 1. Okay. For his aura, it's still Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. He's still a peak character. He's still designed very well. The model looks good. I like the anime references in his kit. I will give his aura a 3. Alright, I've calmed down. Let's talk about the Great Saiyaman. I'm gonna be honest, I love all of his voice lines. Gohan doing the superhero voice is so funny. And just the at the end of his transformation is so satisfying. However, his aura is only gonna get a 2. Oh shoot dang, we got the Goku grab. Alright, that's gonna get a 2 also. As for his skills, we have Justice Pose 1, which gives him a couple buffs. I really like his poses, they're so fun. And then we have Justice Finishing Pose, which is an Insta-Spark, and gives him a blast buff. I really like this skill lineup. And I'm usually not the buff move guy, but I definitely see its value here. He gets a lot of good buffs from both of these moves, plus it's just the Great Saiyaman. He has great animations. I'm gonna give this skill lineup a 5. And for his blasts, we have a Super Explosive Wave. Honestly, at this point, I'll take it over a volley any day. And then he has Justice Slash. He kicks the opponent up, does a backflip, follows up with a big kick to the chest, and then while they're staggered, he just smacks them down like they're nothing. This is a good rush. And for his ultimate, we have Justice Judgment, where he starts the rush with a couple really, posy moves. But then he calls in the Great Saiyawoman, or the Great Saiyaman 2, or Videl, and they team up to get a couple really good hits in on the opponent with this funny little love heart surrounding them. Is Gohan actually generating that with ki, or is that just like dramatic effect? Either way, I actually really like this blast lineup, and I'm gonna give it a 4. As for the Great Saiyaman's overall aura, I like him a lot. Honestly, the fit goes hard, and I really like Gohan being a goofy superhero. It fits him so well, and at least this version of Gohan is represented half decent in the game, so I'm gonna give his aura a 5. Okay, let's talk about Ultimate Gohan. A little disappointed that he only has the base blue aura here. It would have been really interesting if they gave him a unique one, even if it was white, but just really big and explosive. I don't know, but this is gonna get a 2. Hey, it's been a while, but we have a unique grab. Honestly, I don't love this one. He grabs them and then he just starts flailing his arms into their chest. It does not look cool even a little bit. And then he finishes it off with a pretty nice kick. I don't hate this grab. Again, I really like that it's unique. I just think it looks goofy. So I'm gonna give it a 3. And then for his skills, we have the Wild Sense and Power Up to the Very Limit. An excellent skill lineup. Of course, we know how I feel about Wild Sense, but also Power Up to the Very Limit is an Insta-Spark that also grants you buffs. This is an easy 5. And then for his blasts, we have the Super Kamehameha, and that makes sense for this version of the character. Also, a Super Kamehameha, not just like a regular one, which is very cool. And then he has the Super Explosive Wave as well. This has always kind of been an Ultimate Gohan staple. I do like that other games tried giving him some unique rushes, but I'm okay with the Super Explosive Wave here. And for his ultimate, we have Burst Rush, Ultimate Gohan's iconic move. And I'm so happy to say that they pulled it off in this game. It looks so good. He hits the pose, rushes in, and we just get like 7 straight seconds of well-choreographed, well-paced Gohan beatdown action. And it all culminates in this huge, awesome Kamehameha point blank. This attack rules. It's one of the best versions of Burst Rush that we've ever gotten, and this blast lineup is gonna get a 5. And as for Ultimate Gohan's overall aura, finally, I don't have to make excuses. I don't have to feel bad for giving him a low score. This is just a good version of Gohan. He's got good attacks. He looks awesome. That ultimate attack is just so freaking good. I think that Ultimate Gohan was represented incredibly well in this game, and I love playing as him. So I'm gonna give his aura a 5. Last version of Gohan in Budokai Tenkaichi 3 is Future Gohan. Although right away it seems that he has one too many arms. Oh well, what are you gonna do? As for his aura, base aura, that's a 2. And we have this grab again. That's gonna get a 3. As for his skills, we have the Wild Sense. And once again, we have the Full Power Charge. And I gave these skills a 2 earlier in the video, so this is gonna get a 2. And then for his blasts, we have the Masenko. And this is a very nice one-handed Masenko. Even though this version of Gohan does have 2 arms in this game, I really like that they maintained a lot of his one-handed attacks from the time that he fought the androids, sans an arm. And this Masenko is no exception. I really like it. And then he has a Super Explosive explosive wave. Maybe it's just because we've had 3 of these in a row, but that's kind of my main problem with them, is that they are just so overused. Volleys and super explosive waves are just, hey, we don't know what to give this guy, so let's just give him one of these moves. And it's really disappointing. Again, not that every single move on every single character needs to be unique, but I feel like a character like Gohan specifically, most of his forms should have some type of unique moveset. And then we have his ultimate Super Kamehameha. And it's a fine-looking Kamehameha. Bonus points for it being one-handed, but this blast lineup isn't anything special. We have a couple cool unique one-handed animations, which I really like and appreciate, but otherwise still fairly stock moveset. So I'm gonna give it a 3. Now, as for his overall aura, I mean, future Gohan, man. I really like his haircut, always have, not sure why, just looks really cool and unique. And I also always love Gohan in Goku's gi, or at the very least his colors, and he does have some really cool characterization, like I've said multiple times with the one-handed stuff. So I'm fully down to give him a 5. And last but not least, that would be Adult Gohan, we have Super Saiyan Future Gohan. I really like this transformation where he's staring at his fist. Again, we're just kind of leaning into the one hand thing, even though he still has 2, but I like it. It's funny. And Super Saiyan Aura is gonna get a 3. And hey, we finally have a good, unique grab! He grabs them, gets a couple good impacts in, which sends him flying, but then he reaches out, jumps towards them, and pulls them back down, slamming them into the ground. The animation itself is a little bit wonky. I couldn't get it to look good while I was recording footage, but I get what they were trying to do, and I think it's still conveyed pretty well. Even though it is a little bit janky, it's still a 5. And then for his skills, we have Evil Barrier. One of the first barrier type moves that we've seen in the game so far, and barrier type moves are really good. So for 2 stocks, it acts like an explosive wave, but it can stop rushes, blasts, beams, and of course it does a little bit of damage too. Very good. And he has power up to the very limit, which as we've established is very good. So if we're doing the math, this skill lineup is very good. It's gonna get a 5. And then for his blast, we have the Gekiretsu Madan. I don't know what that means, but it looks cool. He fires off this one-handed huge key ball. There's a ton of electric energy coming off of it, and that wind-up with all the aura surrounding him is very cool too. And he also has special beam cannon. I really like these blasts. Most of the time, I don't like a character having 2 blasts, or 2 abilities that serve similar functions. But in this case, special beam cannon does a lot more damage, and though it's relatively easy to dodge, it ignores armor and all defensive stats. Whereas the Madan, while doing a little bit less damage, can beam struggle, and you get the benefit of the wind-up being a cutscene versus real time. So, like I've said previously in this series, this is a very situational blast lineup, and there is good reason to use both. And then, for his ultimate, we have the Gekiretsu Ranbu, where he rushes in, kicks them into the air, but then he flies past them, just showcasing some immense speed. And then while they're still flying towards him, he flies towards them and kicks them super hard, great impact. And then again following up with a punch to the jaw, which then he catches them by the foot and slams them into the ground, does a little triple dippy back flippy move, and hits them with the one-handed Kamehameha to finish them off. Oh man, this might be better than Burst Rush, I'm not gonna lie. This is such a good ultimate rush. We get the beam, we get the attacks, we get Gohan being cool. It's just so good. This is a great blast lineup, and I have to give it a 5. And I feel like I've said pretty much everything I need to say already about Future Gohan. He is an amazing character that is really well represented in this game. I love playing as him. He looks awesome. He has great attacks. There is absolutely nothing to complain about here, and I'm going to give it a 5. And folks, that is going to do it for this moveset review. Again, if you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. It really helps me out a lot as we're trying to grow and reach 5,000 subscribers. And hey, I live stream all the time, so if you see that we're live sometime, come say hi. But that is going to be it for this one, so thank you everybody again so much for watching, and of course, as always, goodbye forever.